All right, what is up, tycoons? What's up, traders? Coming at you guys with another viewer request. We're going to take a look at Origin Trail today, the decentralized knowledge graph. All right, we'll break things down on Origin Trail, look at the daily time frame. We are retesting some key levels of prior supply zone, hopefully being turned into a new demand zone here. We'll really break that down. Then we'll look and zoom in on the daily chart and look at the overall structure we have. Okay, we do have a triple bottom forming here along with some bullish divergence. We'll see if we can really get a nice move to the upside, the key levels that we need to get above for us to really be bullish above. Otherwise, it could be a healthy bounce to continue the downtrend. All right, and we'll also take a look briefly into some of the aspects and tech behind Origin Trail and maybe why this is something that you guys should be interested in. We'll go into a few different details about it. Also, some of its AI grade knowledge assets. All right. Now, full disclosure, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. Trading in stocks, bonds, commodities, and crypto involves a significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. So be sure to read through the full disclaimer. Right. And we'll start off here and we can see that, as I mentioned before, we are retesting some key levels. Now, we have had a couple chart patterns. Okay. Initially, we had this cup and handle that we were tracking here. We saw a very huge breakout to the upside after that cup and handle. And we had this supply zone that we were looking at, right? We rejected it here, broke out, retested, and it's exactly what you want to see, right? So we came through this area and we actually flipped it to a demand zone from a supply zone. Okay. And now we're retesting this level here. So, old resistance becomes new support. And we're seeing that right now. But, we want to really see if we can flip that former supply zone into a demand zone and really start to see a big move back to the upside. We did have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders right here, right? We had a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay. And that played out very nicely. And it ultimately led to a larger head and shoulders, right? And you can see once we broke that neckline here, ultimately we did get that strong push to the downside. We had the left shoulder here, the head, the right shoulder here, and now we're retesting this demand zone. As I mentioned before, we are putting in a triple bottom here potentially. And so if we take a look and zoom in a little bit more, all right, we do have this key demand zone that we're testing right now, forming this triple bottom. We have something known as bullish divergence. All right, well, if you're not familiar with bullish divergence, we have, these lows right here. Then we come over here, create these slightly lower lows. So, the token is in a downtrend at this point in time. But if you look at your RSI, we have a low here and we have a higher low. Now, remember, your RSI stands for the relative strength index. It's going to give you the relative strength of a token at its given prices. And we can see that, prices were going lower, but the relative strength index was actually increasing. So if we do drop some more on TRAC, okay, this is going to be an area to look at the TRAC coin for potentially a bounce if we come down and retest that bullish divergence trend line. That's definitely an area I'll be looking at. Ultimately, if we break below our demand zone and flip this to resistance from support, we're going to be bearish below there, and we have price targets of 0.2015 and 0.1719. All right, now when it comes to the major resistance levels, okay, up here, as I mentioned, we are forming this triple bottom and bullish divergence. We could see a push up, but we need to be really cautious of 0.3347, 0.3610, and 0.3872. Until we actually reclaim these levels as support and we're able to get above there, that's when we're really going to be bullish and can look for the reversal, okay? And the reason being is these are the three major Fibonacci retracement levels, okay? And you use these to identify trend continuation versus reversals because nothing moves in a straight line down and nothing moves in a straight line up. You get a move down, retracement, continuation lower, or move up, retracement, continuation higher. So in this case, we have the big move down here, and all of this would be healthy retracement territory to potentially continue trending lower. But if you break above these levels, you can also use the fibs to spot reversals, right? We mentioned the trend continuation like this, okay? But you can also use it to spot reversals. If you move up, retrace, consolidate, and break through those retracement levels, you can spot a potential downside reversal. And if you move down, retrace, consolidate, and break through those levels, you can spot a potential upside reversal, right? So we're moving down. We haven't really seen a big retracement yet. And if we are able to consolidate around here and break through these levels, that's when we can look at the reversal and potentially retest some of our previous highs around the 0.44 to 0.46 area. But for now, we're just looking to see whether or not we're going to get a nice bounce based off of the triple bottom and the bullish divergence. Again, if we don't and we break through our demand zone, I gave you guys the key levels to potentially look for support down below. Now, let's get into some of the tech behind it. Okay. We have the decentralized knowledge graph, and it's organizing AI grade knowledge assets, making them discoverable and verifiable for a sustainable global economy. Um, and it's transforming global industries, whether it's pharmaceutical supply chains, enterprise data interoperability, global trade and customs in the USA, transportation, sustainable brands, and EU food safety compliance. And so one question is, why would you want to use the decentralized knowledge graph? Well, it's a global index of assets. So the DKG organizes all issued assets into a smart global index, allowing all assets to be made discoverable by keywords or IDs. It's multi-chain. OriginTrail is a scalable and highly efficient network by employing a multi-chain approach running on Ethereum, DAI, Polygon, and Polkadot. It's got privacy by design, so you can make your assets discoverable, verifiable, and valuable while protecting your sensitive data at all times. A permissionless network with the origintrail DKG is running on a permissionless network of 1,000 plus nodes, globally enabling data discovery, connectivity, and immutability. And then the interoperability, supporting all critical global standards to drive interoperability and unleash more value from siloed data. And the multi-chain decentralized knowledge graph has AI grade knowledge assets hub on the origintrail parachain, right? And so we'll dive into that a little bit more. The origintrail technology presents a unique two-layer decentralized system designed for sharing trusted data as AI-grade knowledge assets made discoverable across the internet. The core component, the origintrail decentralized network, hosts the multi-chain decentralized knowledge graph DKG integrated with multiple blockchains. With each blockchain connected to the DKG semantic features of knowledge assets are enabled on that particular chain. And AI-grade knowledge assets are a new dynamic resource for the internet. The next generation DKG V6 is following the expected growth trajectory, with OriginTrail parachain underpinning its cutting-edge features. The key innovation V6 brings are dynamic AI-grade knowledge assets with prescribed ownership, designed to drive unprecedented potential network effects as they gain existence on the new DKG V6. The AI-grade knowledge assets represents a leapfrog innovation as a new dynamic resource on the internet with the following main features. Now, those features are going to be ownership through non-fungible tokens, which are NFTs, and each knowledge asset is created with an NFT token inaugurally on the OriginTrail parachain, enabling trusted ownership of the underlying structured knowledge. Verifiability, so each knowledge asset state can be verified using a graphic proof on the blockchain. Discoverability, each knowledge asset has its own unique asset locator, UAL, similar to how websites have URLs. There's an asset knowledge graph, so that knowledge assets have AI grade data structure, and their growing knowledge graph can be private and public. Some examples would be the metadata or indexing data is always public. The rest of the knowledge can be kept privately, thus capable of powering AI and ML algorithms in a fully decentralized manner. And composability, due to their underlying vehicle, the DKG, each knowledge asset can be connected to others to form a connected knowledge about anything, scientific research, supply chains, value transactions, IoT data, and establish unprecedented potential for the value generation based on Metcalfe's law on network effects. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something new today, whether it's charting or maybe about some of the technology behind OriginTrail. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'm out.